Right, Breeders' Crown week, and I'm catching up with Kate Hargreaves. Firstly, hello, Kate.
Hi, Paul. It's nice to be here.
It is good to be here. Now, you and I quite often have in-depth chats, I suppose, and they get a little bit deep and meaningful. We are not going to do that one today. We are going to talk about the horses, but you are travelling pretty well.
Yep, travelling really well.
Which is good to hear. I always want to make sure, I think all our participants, when we need to make sure they are. What I want to have a chat to you about is because, it's going to be a big week for Breeders' Crown. You've done an awesome job. You've got 2 horses into the final. You only got 12 horses in works. Firstly, congratulations and well done.
Yeah, thank you very much. It was the aim to get 2 on Breeders' Crown final night, so the whole stable's pretty proud to have the only 2 that we tried to qualify into the finals.
There's no mistake why I got the hat on, and we'll discuss that part in a second, if you like. Alpha Turi, we'll start with that horse. Now, there is something behind the name, but we're not 100% sure, so we won't go from there. Debut run was quite good. The horse Chris Lang's just sort of put the foot down just prior to the 400 metre mark, just lost that little bit of ground. Didn't shirk the issue all the way up the straight, though. You would have been wrapped in that for a first up run.
Yeah, he was really impressive. I thought it was his first start. Ideally, I would have liked to have given him a start before throwing him in the deep end against horses of that calibre, but he did a terrific job and he battled on well for 4th. It's just about seasoning him up, and I think he's going to develop into a really nice horse in the next 6 to 12 months. He's got a lot of raw ability, but he just sort of needs to become a racehorse, and I've just got to develop him, and so probably he's just going to make up the numbers Saturday night, but I think in the future he'll be a nice horse.
He looks, I suppose, gangly, like without looking at him on the camera. He's sort of got a long head check and his neck almost sort of goes the opposite way on it. Like, he just looks like he's got so much developing, albeit I've only seen him on the TV. Yeah,
absolutely. He's a really big, gross horse. He hasn't grown into himself yet. So when he fills out, he's going to be a really impressive looking animal, but he doesn't wear a head check or anything like that. So he's a really natural trotter. But yeah, he's just, I think as he gets older, he'll get better.
How good am I going? I thought he had a head check on. So that's okay, I'll get away because I didn't see him there. Right, the main reason I am here is for LUDACROUS. Nutrien race series in Menangle a year and a half ago anyway, at least. I think it was about April where she debuted there. I think she ran second on that occasion actually as well. She's been a brilliant man, 21 starts, now 3 wins. What's I think, 10 or 11 seconds, unfortunately and fortunately for connections. Nearly $100,000 in stakes. She's just been a brilliant little filly for us.
Absolutely, she has. I always joke that she loves to be the bridesmaid. She's never the bride, but she's done a great job, and her development from a 2-year-old to a 3-year-old has just been enormous. She's gone from what you'd probably call a weak sit sprinter to now she's a really big, strong filly, and you can drive her any way that you like. And probably the early part of this season we were driving her upside down a little bit, thinking that she was still that little bit weak, but probably since the trip to Menangle I've learned a lot about her, and she's a lot stronger than people probably give her credit for, and now we're driving her a little bit different. I think she's probably going to get a few more wins on the board and hopefully a big win.
It's a great thing being able to be positive with a horse, and like Lisa was very, very positive the other day, and you almost take it out of everyone else's mind because Lisa was at length, if you like, in front of the rest, more or less saying, no, the front's here for no one, and gave us a great sight, albeit to be just run down those last couple of strides. As you said, though, she used to be put away and let get home over the top of them, so she's definitely developing.
Absolutely. This time 12 months ago when she was in the Breeders' Crown heat, I think they ran about 55 and she was just out on her feet, she just walked over the line basically, and in her heat at Ballarat she sat parked and they went 55 and she only got beat 5 metres, and then last night, Saturday night, sorry, she went a really quick lead time, quicker than average. She's gone 55 again, she's led up and only just got beat, so her development's been enormous, and Lisa's been great with her. She's a very hard horse to drive. There's a line with her, she's a typical outmajor, she can fire right up, and if you try to fight her then it's all over. As you've probably seen, she's been beat a few times by horses she shouldn't have been beat by because of that reason, and Lisa does a great job with that fine line. She sort of lets her run along a little bit without letting her go crazy, but she doesn't upset her, she doesn't fight her, so yeah, I think she's probably gained a little bit of respect her last 2 runs, and we've got the flexibility now. We can drive her any way that we like because she is still a really high speed mare as well.
It's one of those things I think people will probably undersell or don't understand, maybe if they sit back that little bit off when you are trying to change your tactics, and that quite often sometimes you need that statement run, and Saturday night I think was nearly that statement run that, if you leave me in front, if you want to sit on something that's going to cart you to the sprint lane, she's there, and if you're good enough to run over the top of her, she's there. But also the fact, well, the front's not there. If you want to try and commit hurry curry, you're going to be in all sorts of trouble.
Yeah, exactly right. If she is in front, the front won't be there, just simply for the fact that the horse probably wouldn't let Lisa hand up. But she likes to roll along now. She's not, like I said, that walk and dash type horse. So, yeah, if people come looking, it's not going to be there in the final if we're lucky enough to draw well enough to drive her forward. And she's obviously a good horse to sit on because you know she's going to run along.
She's giving you so much fun, and the owner's so much fun over the journey. I think, the industry has a bad habit of measuring everything by wins. That's one of the things you and I do discuss. It doesn't mean you're going bad when you're not winning. And I think sometimes too, when you run a lot of seconds, people think it's almost a bad thing that you do run a lot of seconds. The fun and the joy, I don't know how many Group 1s she's been a part of, but the fun and the joy these horses bring, and to the owners, it makes a world of difference, doesn't it?
Yeah, the owners and I were actually talking about that on Saturday night. Her group of owners, no one knew each other before we got this horse, and everyone just came in, and now everyone gets along and we're all friends. And we were saying just how much we enjoy having her and watching her. She's competitive in all the big races, and that's what it's all about for her owners. Everyone just owns a small share, and they get to, they've gone to Menangle twice to watch her. Saturday night she ran a huge race and nearly won, and we're going into a Breeders' Crown Saturday with a live chance. So everyone's just getting enjoyment, and that's really what this is about. Obviously, prize money's not great at the moment and things like that, so you've got to look at those positives. And I actually reflected on that driving home Saturday night, how great it is and how lucky I am to have just a fun group of owners, and we just enjoy her, and that's what it's all about.
I remember them rocking in for the final. I don't think they were there for the heats. I think no one came for the heats of the Nutrien race, but that was like the first. They were there for the final, and they were up. They didn't. I don't think there was any expectation. I think they wanted to win. Everyone wants to win every race that you're in, but I think there was just that enjoyment factor.
Absolutely, and that's what it's all about. They get together, have a great night, enjoy the races. They stay and watch all of the other races, and I never feel any pressure with her. She's an elite animal, so I put that pressure on myself, obviously. But they back all my decisions, and everyone just enjoy her.
Yeah. You got to stop putting pressure on yourself. You just got to be able to enjoy it. What happens to her after the Breeders' Crown? Does she stop then and go for a bit of a spell? Will you continue racing her?
Depending what happens, I might keep her going. They say with mares and fillies, when they're in that purple patch, to keep them going, don't put them out in the paddock. So I'd probably like to keep her going. Since she's come back from Sydney, she's just unbelievable at the moment. I've just got her really happy, and she's just in the zone. So we might maybe look at a couple more starts, give her a few wins, and then she'll go to the paddock. They've moved the bigger mares races, the interstate ones, later into the season. The ones up in Sydney were always earlier in the year, but I noticed they've moved them to later in the year. So she's got time to have a good spell, even if we want to keep going for a bit longer.
Wait till she shows you she's ready for the paddock, instead of saying, right, we'll tip her out and bring her back, because sometimes they don't come back. That's the hardest part about some of those the mares. If you put them out at the wrong time, they don't seem to get any better.
Absolutely. She has taught me a lot as a trainer, and training mares is very difficult. As I said before, she's put in a few average performances on paper if you look at it, but with her, physically training her is easy. It's the mental side and keeping her happy and figuring out what's wrong. Before I took her to Sydney for the Breeders' Challenge a month or two ago, I remember her last fast work. It was 3 days before I was meant to leave. She wasn't going. I wasn't happy with her, and I was banging my head up against a wall. I just couldn't figure it out, but we went up there, and then she trialled going 150, and then she went through the series unbelievable, and she's just a different horse now. She's happy. I've taken all the pulling gear off her, and it was just a mental thing. She was trying to tell us that she was unhappy and cranky.
Well, I'm not going to say too much to that, but that's it's always good insight. 12 other horses. Any others to keep an eye on?
I really like our Ultimate Gracie. She's a little sweet little 2-year-old. Things haven't really gone to plan her first 2 starts. She's had 2 really tough runs, but she's in on Thursday at Shepparton. She's just had sort of a little freshen up, and I'm really happy with her. She's got a lot of high speed, and I think she'll develop into a nice horse. Whether she's up to the better ones, she's maybe a length or 2 off the really nice ones, but I think she'll develop and she'll get better. So she's probably one to watch out for. And I do like Icon. I think he's a nice horse. He'll probably maybe get to metro level. There's a few coming through, a few nicer ones, and I've got a few yearlings that I like. So the future's looking pretty bright.
Very good, Katie. Well done. Thank you. You've always been a part of the Nutrien experience. Have you found it hard to get registered and get everything organised?
No, I'm very excited for another Nutrien sale. Unfortunately, last year I couldn't find a yearling in my price range, but there was just so many nice ones that I wanted. So yeah, really looking forward to getting there again and hopefully finding the next Ludacrous.
No, definitely. We want everyone to pre-register. As I said, that's a reason for the hat on, but I think well done to you going this weekend into the Breeders' Crown and the journey that you've had so far. Hopefully she gets past that, I think it's about 6,700 I think she has to do to clip past that 100,000, which is a great line to get past. So, Katie, thank you. Well done and keep up the good work. Good luck on Saturday night.
Thanks very much, Paulie.